Dear students, in this video we will discuss the algebra of limits of sequences. So suppose we have two sequences an and bn, and sequence an converges to a and sequence bn converges to b. Then limit of the new sequence kan, that means each term of the sequence an is multiplied by a scalar quantity k. Then the value of the new sequence, the value of the limit of the new sequence kan is nothing but ka. Fine. Similarly, limit of the sequence magnitude of an will be magnitude of a. Limit n tending to infinite, sum of two, because an is a sequence, bn is a sequence, takes their sum, so we are getting another sequence an plus bn. Then find out the limit, which is nothing but a plus b. Similarly, difference of two sequences, find out their limit, then this will be nothing but a minus b, this will be a minus b. Then product ab, a new sequence, find out its limit, which is nothing but ab. Then reciprocal of the sequence an, so each term is reciprocated, so we are getting limit n tending to infinite 1 by an, which is equals to 1 by a, where a is non-zero quantity. And similarly, the division of two sequences, you can understood this thing as by taking a simple example. For example, then we will prove. For example, an is a sequence like 1 2 3 and so on. That means we are taking sequence n. Then bn is another sequence, for example say 1 minus 1, 1 minus 1 and so on. That means minus 1 raised to the power n plus 1. This is the sequence. Then we want to take an plus bn. What is the meaning? Take their sum. So we are getting 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 minus 1 is 1, 3 plus 1 is 2, 4 and so on, which is another sequence. Similarly, a minus bn, similarly a and bn and so on. So this is the meaning. Fine. Now we have to find out the sequences. So this is the limit. So here proof of the first part. What is given? Given is that limit of an is a, and you have to prove that limit of kn is k. So let us take any epsilon be given. Then we will start with this magnitude of kn minus ka with the help, and now this can be rewritten as, just take k common, so kan minus a, and since k is a scalar quantity, so now apply the magnitude property. This is equals to magnitude of k, magnitude of an minus a. Fine. Now since this is already given to you, that means for any choice of epsilon we can find a positive integer m such that an minus a is less than epsilon. In place of epsilon we have assumed this epsilon divided by magnitude of k plus 1, which is obviously less than epsilon, so this will be also true. Now here we have taken magnitude of k plus 1 because k may be a 0, k may be positive, k may be negative, and here we are having magnitude of k. That's why because what is our target? Our target is to show that this quantity is less than epsilon. So we want to show that this quantity is less than epsilon. So this is only possible when this quantity is less than epsilon by some kn, but k may be 0. So then in that case this will be not verified or not very reasonable to take epsilon by magnitude of k, because if k is 0, so we will get infinite. To avoid that condition we have assumed, we have taken 1 extra 1 here to avoid that condition only, nothing else. So here we have taken this quantity. So now substitute this here. So what we get, magnitude of k minus ka is magnitude of k and this quantity, but according to this is less than epsilon by magnitude of k plus 1. So we have substituted it here. So and since magnitude of k divided by this quantity, this quantity is obviously less than 1, so you can replace this quantity by less than 1, so less than epsilon. And since we have utilized this condition, so we have to impose this for all n greater than equals to m, and that's why this quantity is less than epsilon for all, and hence we can write that limit n tending to infinite kan is equals to k. Fine. So this is the proof of the first part. Now the second part. In the second part, we have to show that magnitude of an minus magnitude of a. Limit of this is magnitude of a. That means we have to find out, we have to show that magnitude of an minus magnitude of a is less than epsilon for all n greater than. This is our target to show that. Fine. So that let us start with this magnitude of an minus a. But according to the property of magnitude, this quantity is less than magnitude of an minus a, and we have already taken that what is given to you, limit an is equals to a. That means for a given choice of epsilon, you can easily find out some m such that this quantity hold. So if this is hold for this, so obviously this will also be hold because this quantity is less than equal to this, and hence because this is already given to you, limit an n tending to infinite is a. That means magnitude of an minus a will be less than epsilon for all n greater than equals to m. That means for given epsilon greater than 0, there exists m belongs to n such that this condition holds. So if this condition holds, so you can replace this quantity by less than epsilon for all n greater than equal to. That's why this quantity is less than epsilon, and hence this is equal to this. So this is easy. Now the third part. Third part is this. So an is given to you, limit of an is a, limit of bn is b. Now task is to prove that limit of an plus bn is a plus b. So since limit of an is equal to a, so that's why for a given choice of epsilon you can find out a positive integer, suppose m1, such that this condition holds. An minus a is less than epsilon by 2 for all n greater than equals to m1. Similarly, limit of bn is equal to b. Again, for the same choice of epsilon you can find out another number, say m2, which satisfy this property. Bn minus b magnitude is less than epsilon by 2 for all n greater than equals to m2. Now since we want to connect these two, and better way is to take the maximum of these two numbers. Fine. So let m is equals to maximum of m1 and m2. So if we are taking this m, then obviously this m will satisfy both these conditions. So that's why an minus a is less than epsilon by 2 and bn minus b is less than epsilon by 2 for all n greater than equals to m. Fine. Actually the reason is this, because suppose an is a sequence which converges to some limit a, then here we have some m1, because all the terms will be laying here. This is a minus plus epsilon, a minus epsilon. Similarly, we have suppose another sequence b, bn, b is the limit, b plus epsilon to b minus epsilon, for which suppose we have taken m2, this number. So if you take the maximum of these two, in this case m is maximum of m1 m2 is m2 in this case. So here you will see that this is the sequence b. If you take the sum, then this choice of m, you can see that all the terms is laying either a n here, b n here, they will be also satisfy the condition. That's why we are taking the maximum. However, minimum will not satisfy because minimum is m1. If you are taking minimum, then these points are of b may be outside the domain, so they will not satisfy. That's why we are not taking minimum, we are taking maximum. Fine. So here maximum will satisfy both these conditions simultaneously. So now take an plus bn minus ab magnitude. which is equals to an minus a plus bn minus b. Apply triangle inequality, so we get this quantity, but this is less than epsilon by 2, this is also less than epsilon by 2, so total sum is less than epsilon, and for all n greater than equals to 1. That's why this is proved. But converse need not be true. That means if sum converges, sum of two sequences converges, but individually this sequence may be diverges. For example, here an is a sequence n, bn is a sequence minus n. Take their sum, so we get 0, which is a constant sequence, that's why converges. However, an is a diverging sequence which is diverges towards positive infinite. Bn is again a divergent sequence and diverges towards minus infinite. So they are not converges. However, their sum converges. Fine. Now the fourth part, which is related to the difference. So this is all as it is same. Only the difference is that now we are taking an minus bn. So I think you can easily do yourself. And this is again not, the converse need not be true. For example, here an is n, bn is n. If you take the difference, so again we are getting a 0, which is a constant sequence, so converges to 0. However, this sequence and this both are same sequences and divergent sequences. That's why they are not converges. However, their sum converges. So, however, their difference converges. Now the fifth part. Fifth part now related to the product. So here we have to show that, we have to prove that this sequence an tending to a, bn tending to b, then we have to show that a and bn tending to ab. This is our target. That means what is our target? To show that my ab minus ab is less than epsilon for all n greater than equals to m. This is our required to prove. This is required to prove. So that's why we will start with this an minus ab. Now add and subtract abn minus ab. From here you can take bn common, from here you can take a common, so we get this quantity. Apply triangle inequality, and then we, with the help of magnitude property, so this can be written as less than magnitude of bn, magnitude of this quantity, plus magnitude of a and magnitude of bn minus b. Suppose this is equation number 1. Fine. So here we are having three things: magnitude of bn, magnitude of an minus a, magnitude of bn minus b. These are terms related to sequences. However, this is a constant, so we have to find out the value of this, this and this. Fine. So now to find out the value of this, we will use this concept. Since sequence bn converges to b, that's why it is bounded. We have already proved this in a theorem. So since this is bounded, so obviously there exists a positive constant 0 such that magnitude of bn is less than k for all n. Suppose this is equation number 2. Now we will find out the value of this. For this we will use this. Since limit n tending to infinite is an, because it is a convergent sequence. Similarly, this is also given to you because our target is to also to find out this value. So limit n tending to infinite bn is b. So obviously there exist positive integers m1, m2 for a given choice of epsilon. For given epsilon greater than 0, there exist positive integers m1 and 2 such that an minus a, because what is our target? We will bifurcate this into two parts. You can see that this is bifurcated into two parts. So we want to show that this quantity is less than epsilon by 2, this quantity is less than epsilon by 2. Fine. So that their sum is less than epsilon by 2. So you have already proved that this quantity is less than k. So you have to divide this quantity by k. That's why we have taken epsilon by 2k. So there exists a positive integer m1 and m2 such that an minus a is less than epsilon by 2k for all n is greater than equals to m. And here you remember one thing, k is a positive quantity. That's why there is no need to add any 1. There is no need. Now here limit of bn is b. So here you have to prove that this quantity is less than epsilon by 2. So that's why you have to divide this quantity by epsilon by 2 divided by magnitude of a, so that magnitude of a is cancelled out with a magnitude of a. So but a limit of a sequence may be 0. For example, here a zeros limit. That's why to avoid that infinite case, so we have taken a sum here, plus 1. So Bn minus B is less than epsilon by 2 magnitude of A plus 1 to avoid the condition of infinity. That's why this is greater than equal to m1, this is greater than equal to m2, and since we have to use this in a single equation, so we have to connect these two, for which we have taken a maximum. Same logic which we used in earlier proof. So that's why this choice of m will satisfy not only this but also this condition. That's why an minus a is less than epsilon by 2k for all n greater than equal to m, and magnitude of bn minus b is less than epsilon by this for all n greater than equal to. This is equation number. Now substitute all these values in equation number 1. So here an minus bn is less than equals to this quantity, but bn is less than k, and an minus a is less than epsilon by 2k, plus magnitude of a and then bn minus b, which is less than equal to this quantity. So substitute it here for all n is greater than equal to m, because we have used this equation now. Fine, simplify this calculation. So k cancel out with this k, epsilon by 2 plus epsilon by 2 and then this, but this quantity is less than m1, so that's why it can be written as less than epsilon by 2 plus epsilon by 2. Their sum is less than epsilon, and that's why this is the proof of this. Fourth one. Now again the converse of the above is need not be true. Why? Because suppose an is and bn both are same sequences, which is equal to minus 1 raised to the power n. So their product is nothing but simply minus 1 raised to the power 2n. That means nothing but 1. So a convergent sequence, and limit will be 1. However, both are oscillatory sequences and do not converge. Fine. So now the sixth part is related to the reciprocal of a, sequence an. So here what is our target? Our aim is to show that when an tends to a and a is already given to you that non-zero, then you have to prove that this quantity is tending to a, and here a is non-zero. That means an minus 1 by a should be less than epsilon for all. This is required to prove. Fine. So we will start with this. This quantity is a minus an divided by a into an. So this can be written as this. Suppose this is equation number 1. So now what is given? Given that limit n tending to infinite, an is n. And in second part we have already proved that limit n tending to infinite, magnitude of an is magnitude of a. We have already proved this. Fine. So we will utilize this. So now we will take, suppose epsilon is magnitude of a by 2, a positive quantity, because a is not a non-zero quantity. Now we will find out the value of 1 by, now we will try to find out the quantity 1 by magnitude of an. What is the limit? This is question mark. So we will have to find out this value. So to find out this value, so we will use this. So magnitude of an minus a, let us take this, but we know that with the help of magnitude property this should be less than this quantity, and this quantity is less than epsilon because limit an is a, and we have assumed that what is our epsilon? Epsilon is this quantity. So for which there exists a positive integer m1, which is n is greater than equals to m1, because this is equal to this. So there exists a positive integer m. Suppose this number is denoted by m1. This is our equation. Now expand this. So what you get? You will get magnitude of this quantity is less than magnitude of a by 2. Now open this. So we get minus a, magnitude of a by 2 less than equal to this quantity less than this positive quantity for all n greater than equal to m. Now adding magnitude of a both sides. So we get this. After simplification we get this quantity. Magnitude of a by 2 is less than magnitude of an is less than 3 by 2 magnitude of a for all n greater than equal to m. And that's why we will use only this part. So this part says magnitude of an is greater than this quantity for all n. Now take the reciprocal. So 1 by magnitude of an is less than 2 by magnitude of a for all n greater than equals to m1. That's why here 1 by an can be replaced by 2 by magnitude of an. So here we will take 2 by magnitude of A. That means 2 by magnitude of A whole square. So what should be your magnitude of A minus An? Your A minus An should be obviously A minus An. To prove that this quantity is less than A, so this quantity should be your epsilon by 2 magnitude of A whole square. Because you will prove when you substitute this here, ultimately after calculating this you will see that this will be less than epsilon. Fine. So here is our, so now let us take, so limit of n tending to infinite an is A. Again take this, so there exists another positive integer m2 such that this condition holds. So why we have taken this, we have already shown you the logic, because when you substitute it ultimately you will get that this one. So this, so since we are having two numbers and we are using here, so we have to connect these. So take the maximum. So m is maximum of m1 m2, so which satisfies not only this condition but also this condition. So 1 upon magnitude of A is less than 2 by A for all n greater than equal to this, and 3 implies magnitude of n minus A is less than equal to this quantity for all n greater than equal to. Now substitute this in equation number 1 and we will get the required proof. So magnitude of an whole square, so cancel out this, ultimately epsilon. So this is the proof. And now the last part. Here in the last part, what is our purpose? Our purpose is to show that magnitude of an upon bn minus a by b is less than epsilon for all n is greater than equals to. This is required to prove. This is required to prove. So let us start with this quantity. So this is written as an minus b. Just simplify this. So a and b minus abn divided by b into bn. Separate this. Add and subtract ab. Add and subtract ab in numerator. So we are having this. Now apply the magnitude property. So magnitude of numerator divided by magnitude of denominator. Now apply the triangle inequality. So magnitude of this quantity plus magnitude of this quantity. So this is here. Again apply the magnitude property. You can take magnitude outside. So magnitude of b, magnitude of this divided by magnitude of b into magnitude of bn plus magnitude of a, magnitude of b minus bn divided by this quantity. B is cancelled out with b, so we are getting this term plus this term. So that's why to show that this quantity is less than epsilon, this should be epsilon by 2, this should be epsilon by 2. Fine. So let us start with this. Since limit n tending to infinite an is a and limit n tending to infinite bn is b, this is already given to you. So now first we will find out the value of 1 by bn. And this is done in the previous proof also with respect to an. Here we will take this as with respect to bn. So take epsilon is equals to magnitude of b by 2 positive, where because b is non-zero quantity. So with the help of magnitude property, this quantity magnitude of bn minus b is obviously less than bn minus b, which is less than epsilon because this is already given to you. So this should be less than epsilon, but we have assumed that epsilon is nothing but b by 2. So we have replaced this value. Fine. So there exists a positive integer m1 which satisfies this quantity is less than b by 2 for all n greater than equal to m1. Fine. Now open this, we get this inequality. Adding magnitude of b, so we are getting this. Now take only the left hand part of this inequality, which is equal to this. Take the reciprocal of this. So 1 by bn is less than by 2 by b for all n is greater than equal to. So if you substitute this value here, then what you will get? Magnitude of n minus a into 2 by magnitude of b. So obviously this quantity should be magnitude of b by 2, so that b by 4, so that you will get epsilon by 2. Fine. Now we will take this part. Here we have to find out the value of this quantity. So there exists a positive integer because still there is a need here. So there is a positive integer m2 for a given choice of epsilon. This should be less than epsilon. So there is for a given epsilon, which is nothing but this epsilon b by 4. there exists a positive integer m2 such that this quantity is less than epsilon by b by 4. We have taken this because our goal is to show that this quantity is less than epsilon by 2. That's why we have taken this. This is valid for all n greater than equal to m2. Similarly, for the same epsilon, we are having this quantity here. So this is taken as this, and the reason is same. Reason is same. Here we have taken magnitude of a plus 1 because a may be 0. To avoid that condition of infinity, that's why we have added 1 here. Fine. So now there is, for a choice of epsilon, we can find a positive integer m3 which satisfy this condition for all m greater than equal to 3. Now we will connect all these numbers by taking maximum. So maximum of m1, m2 and m3, because we are using all these equation in equation number 1. So that's why take the maximum, and then finally substitute all these values in equation number 1. So this quantity is 2 by this, because 1 by magnitude of bn is nothing but 2 by magnitude of b. Then an minus a is magnitude of b by epsilon by 4 plus magnitude of a magnitude of b into magnitude of 1 by bn is nothing but 2 by b into, we have already assumed that this is nothing but this quantity. So after simplification we are getting this, and this quantity is less than 1, so that's why epsilon by 2, epsilon by 2. So take their sum is epsilon, and then this is the proof. Again, converse of 7th need not be true. Here we have taken two sequences, an is n, bn is n. Their division is nothing but 1, a constant value, so that's why a constant sequence converges. However, both these are divergent sequences. So this is the algebra of limits of the sequences. Fine. In the next video we will prove some theorems on limits. Thank you.